Hello, my name's Mike Calvin. I'm joined by Gareth Bale, the best player in the Premier League, so they say. Now, I know you quite well. I'm not expecting you to agree with that, but you must be in the best form of your life?
Yeah, I think I'm probably playing the best football I've played so far in my career. I think obviously the older you get, the more experience you get. You learn your game, and yeah, I'm enjoying my football, which is probably the most important thing, which is enabling me to play how I am at the moment.
And Spurs as a team, as a collective unit, are really evolving quite quickly, aren't they?
Yeah, we've still got quite a young squad. I think I heard the average age on the weekend was only 25, so it's a very young team. We're kind of learning together a new style of play under the new manager, and yeah, I think the whole team's gelling together and getting used to the way we do play our football.
Now, I saw you play on Saturday, scored 2, should have scored 3 probably, could have scored 5, which isn't a bad afternoon's work. How fulfilling is a game like that to you? You know, when you were coming off, you had the traditional heroes farewell, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a great game. I think obviously Newcastle were a team in form. I think the new signings had boosted them up. But yeah, it was a massive game for us. And I think this season, in certain games, we've showed as a team that we can step up to the plate and deliver when we need to. So yeah, it was a great game in terms of a team performance. Yeah, I had quite a few chances, which obviously I was glad to take the 2. But yeah, it would have been nice to get the hat-trick at least. But yeah, the most important thing for me and the team is we got the 3 points, and we did put the pressure on the other teams.
Speaking to Alan Pardew afterwards, he paid you a great compliment, well, several compliments in fact. One, he said you'd definitely be in a World 11 that he would pick. But secondly, that he said that in his pattern of play session in preparing for that game, it was all about you. Now, are you getting used to people double teaming you, triple teaming you even? If so, how do you get around that?
Yeah, it's been happening for a few seasons now. I think it's one of those things you kind of just get used to. I think obviously on the wing it's a lot more difficult to kind of find space where you can get away from the defenders. But yeah, now obviously learning my new role, which I've been starting to now and again over the last season or so, coming inside a lot more. Yeah, there's a lot more space in the whole pitch than just on the left wing. So yeah, it's something that I've had to deal with, and yeah, I think I'm learning, I'm understanding my game better, and I'm able to find space more often rather than just being stuck with 2 people on me all the time.
And is it a case also of you creating space for others as well? Yeah,
of course. It's not just understanding to get yourself space. It's also understanding where you can take 2 players away, and your other teammate can roam free, which is obviously a positive. Not a lot of people do see that, but yeah, I think it's a combination of trying to do the best for the team and also the best for yourself as well.
The other thing that Alan Pardew was saying about you was what struck him was how purely you strike the ball, even maybe when you're off balance. You know, he said that's a very rare talent. Now, I'm guessing, it's an educated guess, but I'm guessing that must be something you have to practice over and over again.
Yeah, I think it's obviously, I've been playing football for a while, and yeah, I think obviously you do shoot in practice and stuff in training, but yeah, on the pitch there's always defenders that want to clatter you and want to get you off balance, get the ball, and I think it's been happening for a while now. So I think in a way where people have hitting you, you kind of just get used to being off balance and having to hit the ball, and sometimes you get a slight second to hit the ball, and yeah, those are the times you have to try and connect well and make good contact, and thankfully a few have been flying in recently.
And how fast is your brain working in those moments? Because you must have really good peripheral vision to see the challenge coming and to get the shot off in that circumstance.
Yeah, I think it's the same for any footballer. I think your vision always has to be there. I think when you're in the final third of the pitch, you obviously there are going to be defenders closing you down, and sometimes you get that split second to get a shot away, and sometimes if you don't, you miss a goal scoring opportunity. So yeah, I think when you're in them positions, you're switched on more than ever, and yeah, when you do get that chance, you kind of want to take it with both hands.
Watching you quite closely, when you're running up to ball in a dead ball situation, you're on your toes, quite sort of like a prancing horse in a way, a bit like Cristiano Ronaldo in that sense. With that free kick that you struck against Newcastle, can you actually talk us through the technique that you use in that situation?
It's quite difficult. This obviously, I've been practicing it for a while and a lot in training over the last maybe couple of seasons. And yeah, I think everybody knows what Cristiano Ronaldo has done with his free kicks, the way he hits the ball, the style he does it in, and yeah, it's obviously working for him. So a lot of players now have decided obviously it's working. So people are trying it out, and yeah, I've been practicing it for a while, and thankfully it's starting to pay off now, as I've scored 3 like that this season. Okay, so can you give us an insight into actually how you practice it? You know, you're in a training ground, fantastic training ground at Spurs at the moment. You've got a mannequin in front of you that you're trying to get up and over. Have you got a goalkeeper in goal? How does it work? I think at the start, the main thing is you get the technique right. I think the best thing first is to have nothing. Obviously, the way you start, you want to be striking the ball well and not have any interferences. And then as you're getting better at that, you start adding the wall in and the mannequins, and then eventually bring the keeper in. And I think it's more of a progression and something that does take a while to master. And yeah, I suppose if you work hard at it and stay with it for a while, then it should pay off.
If a young player is watching this, what are the lessons that you've learned over the years in your development that you feel are the most important?
I think the one thing is there's always room for improvement. I think there's always time to keep practicing. I think that's the main thing for me. I think when the minute you think you're playing well, something will literally just come and take it away. So the thing is, you need to keep practicing, keep working hard, and keep dedicated. I think the most important thing, I think, is to stay focused on your goal, and yeah, as I said, I think the more practice and hard work you put in, the more you get out of it.
Because it was, again, going back to Alan Pardew, who was a fantastic prep for this interview. He also said that you were a great example because, you know, you had that time at Tottenham where for basically 2 years, you know, you were on the periphery of things. Was that important to you in terms of making you appreciate what you've got now?
Yeah, I suppose so. I think obviously at the time you're not
But
playing.
you hate it then.
Yeah, obviously at the time you're not playing it as a footballer. Everybody wants to play it. It's very frustrating. You can get down, but I think the main thing is you show your character. As I said, you keep working hard. You never give up, and obviously you want to keep improving. And at that time, yeah, I needed to keep working hard, keep my head down, keep improving on the training field, and then obviously when I did get my chance, I was ready. I was 100% there and doing what hopefully I could do best.
Talking also to Andre, your manager, he was looking at you as being a potential leader of the group simply by, you know, the force of your example.
I think it's been in teams before where obviously there are a lot of leaders and captains that speak verbally, but I think also when I was playing for Wales when I was younger, Ryan Giggs was always lead by example on the pitch, the way he played. So yeah, it's I think everybody wants to do for the best for the team. I think in our team we're a very close bunch, and yeah, we all lead each other really, and we all work for each other, which I think is a very important thing in a team.
How big is that buzz of you know, teamship, if you like? You know, you've got like a new player coming in, Lewis Holtby, who seems to have clicked with you, you know, almost immediately. Do you have to sort of integrate a guy like that into the group very quickly?
I think the good thing about our team is we're all a very close group. There's not one group and another group. We're kind of all together. Everyone gets on with each other, and obviously when someone new comes in, I think we all try and welcome them with open arms and settle them as quickly as possible, because as soon as we do that, they're going to be giving their best on the pitch for us. So yeah, I think even with the new signings in the summer, we've welcomed them straight away. They've settled in really quickly, the likes of Jan and Musa and Clint and obviously Hugo. They've all settled in very quickly, and yeah, they've hit the ground running, which is important for our team.
How far do you think this group can go?
I think if we keep working hard together, I think, as I said, we've still got a young team. We're still all improving all the time, and we're learning new things. So yeah, I think we can go as far as we want to. Really, I think we've got the talent, we've got the potential, we've got the work rate, and I think as long as we all stick together, then we can achieve our goals for this season.
And what about longer term? Do you see yourselves as potential title candidates? And we're all assuming now that Manchester United are going to get it back this year, aren't we?
Yeah, I think everybody's thinking that. I think the 12 points clear now. I don't think there's ever been a lead in the Premier League history of that margin, and it's been lost. So yeah, they're obviously a great team, and they've shown it year in, year out where they've either been very close or have won it. So yeah, but us as a team, I think, as I said, we just have to keep our feet on the ground, keep working hard, and yeah, I think if we stick to all the things that we do well, then we'll have a good chance.
Mm-hmm. And how has the new manager changed things? Maybe in terms of just technical side of his preparations. Are there any differences in the way you prepare for a game now than maybe you did last season?
I think now we probably during the week we work more on the opposition that we're going to play against rather than just go out and train. I think when we go out on the pitch, we kind of know what we need to do, know as a team the shape we need to be in when we're attacking, we know what to do. So I think obviously at the start we had to get used to it. It took a little bit of time, but I think now everybody's used to what we're doing, where we're going, and as I said, the results on the pitch are proving that.
Yeah, and it is a really sort of scientific process now, isn't it? I've seen quite a lot of the performance analysis software that you guys use now. How much do you study your own performance, your stats, your pro zones, everything else like that?
I think the good thing is it's left up to us. I think all the data's there if we want it, and obviously certain players go in, certain players don't. It's more of a how you want to kind of do it yourself. Which is a good way of doing it instead of forcing it on people. So yeah, all the things are there for us to see, and if we don't want to, then it's our choice. So it's obviously good to have that information.
And what about yourself? Do you take much notice of it?
Not too much, to be honest. No, I'm more just when I go on the pitch, I like to kind of express myself on the pitch and do what the situation needs. Obviously, if I'm feeling tired, then I'll check certain stats to see if I've done more running or whatever, and obviously then in terms of recovery, it might take a little bit longer. So in certain ways, yeah, I do check, and in others I don't. So
Now, you've already mentioned Ryan Giggs, Cristiano Ronaldo. Who are your role models as a player?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. I think you watch obviously the best players in the world and the best players that have been. I think at the moment the likes of Messi and Ronaldo are on another planet to everybody else. I think they're the standard that everybody would love to get to. So, but obviously in the past, I think Ryan Giggs, when he was in his prime, was one of the world's best. And yeah, I think
was that you as a kid growing up?
Yeah, obviously him being Welsh and a left side. It was always my player I loved to watch when I was younger, and yeah, he's still doing it now at his age. So. Yeah, I think for every player, even every person that watches football, they always love to see the best players and must see what they do, and obviously what they're doing is the right thing, so you can learn from them.
Because there is this great debate, isn't there, about who is the best player in the world at the moment. Is it Messi or is it Ronaldo? If I had to give you a vote, who would you go for?
For me personally, I would say Ronaldo. I think obviously it's a matter of opinion, but for me, Ronaldo's got the whole package. I think the fact that he's strong, he's powerful, pacey, he can header a ball, strike a ball. Obviously, you can't say anything bad about Messi, but for the all-round complete footballer, for me personally, I'd say Cristiano Ronaldo.
So how is it then how do you feel when your name gets mentioned in the same breath as a Ronaldo?
It's what people are saying. It's nothing to do with me. All I'm concentrating on is playing my football. I think if people ever want to speak about comparisons to certain players, then that's their obviously opinion, and people are going to talk. But yeah, for me, I want to be obviously my own player. But yeah, the main thing for me is I concentrate on my game and try and perform at the highest level I possibly can.
Thanks for your time, Gareth, and thanks to you for joining us on lifesapitch.co.uk.